Today we're talking the film We Live in Time. Stay tuned to find out.
Hello and welcome to Couple Chat.
Where we
Parents.
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat.
Well, originally we weren't going to talk about this tonight. We were obviously going to because it's Sunday and that's our night to record Couple Chat. And we were like, yeah, we're going to go on a double date. We're going to see We Live in Time. We'll talk about it after, when we come home. And, yeah.
Never have I ever cried from beginning to end of any film ever in my entire life.
I'd have to really think about that one, but no, probably not.
Like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right away. And then just the entire...
Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield just have amazing chemistry.
Their chemistry is just like... If they don't get nominated, let alone win Oscars for this performance, I will be shocked. Because this is one of the best film couples I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. Just the scene. And if you don't know what this movie is about, it's a couple that goes through the tribulations of a relationship and starting a family and going through tragedy and,
health issues, and
cancer and all this normal things, your career and what kind of legacy you leave behind. It touches upon so many different things. And the beauty of it is the title, We Live in Time, is like it means like almost two different things to the film. It's, she wants to live these last few months that she may have to the fullest. She wants to live in this time and, whatever that means, just, make an impact in this small amount of time she has. Yeah. And then also it tells the story in this unique way where it's jumping around to all different moments throughout their lives together. And that title, refers to that as well. And it's just, it's different from like how Tarantino does things. It's literally like one scene could be taking place at the end of the timeline and the next scene could be taking place at the beginning, and it just bounces around like that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It just it's showing that like time is irrelevant, right? And the way we perceive time doesn't really matter because of the way our brains think of time. And I don't know about you, but the entirety of the film, I was relating to almost every moment.
Yeah. And
thinking about our own history and our own lives. And it's it was a difficult movie to watch because there's just so much that, I was able to connect to. And I felt so connected to Andrew Garfield's character. Like, yeah. I just related to him so much.
Yeah.
And the two of them are just incredible.
Except for the fact that she hit him with her car.
Which is the catalyst of the whole thing. It's not like
it's revealed in the trailer. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you'd see it in the trailer. Again, I related to everything. Yeah. Most of the things just because of...
the way she has the baby too, I already told you, is like, meh.
But that happens. Like, that kind of stuff happens. Like, I watched this show, or I watched a doctor talk about this show called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. And there's women who have babies in bathrooms and in a car and, like, all sorts of weird places. So, like, that didn't shock me or take me out of it as much.
To me, it's just, it's a movie, so we got to make some things feel unrealistic. I don't know. It's just like, what's the probability of this couple having some crazy thing happen with their,
but that
birthing
woman,
story?
But a friend of ours knows a woman who had a baby the same day as Emma in her car because she couldn't make it to the hospital in time.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm saying, like, this stuff does happen. It's not
Right.
unheard of. But I could understand you being like, oh, well, Hollywood, they have to, you know, bells and whistles, go crazy with everything.
Yeah.
But that to me didn't affect my overall, overall feeling about the film. I think it was definitely, I touched a lot of different spots, like our relationship, our kids, our life, just like all of it kind of. Again, 2 minutes into the movie, I'm literally in tears, sobbing.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop sobbing the entire film. What was it, 2.5 hours? I was a mess.
Yeah. It's a testament to what they were able to do as actors, because this movie, I mean, the writing is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything spectacular about the writing, except the structure of the story.
I think also, too, the chemistry helps.
That's
if you
what
have two people on the screen who don't have that kind of connection, or who don't want anything to do with each other, and you can tell, that would have made it a totally different experience for me.
But that's what I'm basically getting at, is the writing could have almost been anything as long as it was telling a similar story.
Yeah.
It was them. It was the two of them and what they brought to the table that really sold this film, because if it was two other actors, it would have felt different and may not have worked. Yeah. And you don't realize until you see two people that have never been on screen together before, acting together in a relationship, building a family, how much they just felt right.
Yeah.
And that made it even more heartbreaking as they were going through this, hard time. And, it's something that we talked about, and it elevated it for me, and it was probably the most emotional scene, which is interesting because, like, they're going through, it almost seemed like a bit of happiness, but maybe like melancholy. But we watched V for Vendetta in lieu of November 5th being the same day as the presidential election. And watching that film made me realize again, like, I've known this for a long time, but it's been a while, that Natalie Portman is just a phenomenal actress. And one of the things she vowed to do when she made that film was really shave her head. Right. And I came to the realization why it was so important in that film and why it was important in this film for Florence Pugh. It's because the moment that they shave their head is not just some off-screen, oh my God, I reappear and I have my head shaved. In order for these moments to have worked in the film and to really impact the audience, you had to see their head get shaved. And funnily, in V for Vendetta, V, who's her love interest, and this person
her captor.
Yeah, her but this person she idolizes, and like, it's the most important person in that movie aside from her. Yeah. Shaves her head. Now, granted, in that movie, we really don't know if it's actually him shaving her head because of how it's shot. I think it was actually
like a
hairstylist or something. Yeah,
so that they made sure it looked butchered enough, but
at that
well enough
at that time. But then now, fast forward 20 years later. Yeah. And this scene of Florence Pugh getting her head shaved is just, it's like on another level. And it's just so ironic that we watched this film and we were talking about that. And we've mentioned it so many times on this podcast too, like the whole thing with Austin Butler and not shaving his head for Dune and all that. Like,
this is the no shaving their head or shaving their head podcast. Thank you and welcome to this new episode. How many actors shave their heads on screen? Let's find out. Right. 3.
Yeah. But then
Anne Hathaway did it too in Les Mis.
Yeah, right.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, because we were just talking about it all and didn't even take into consideration that we were going to be seeing this film and Florence Pugh shaves her head in it.
Yeah, I didn't even
or
think
has
about
her
it.
head shaved.
Yeah.
And without ruining anything, because it is a very powerful moment, like it elevates anything I've seen on screen before for an actress to have gone through. And I can only imagine, like, I would love to hear her as an actress talk about some of this stuff, because she's such a lighthearted person, like from what we can see, and she's just goofy, and so this was a very different role that I've seen her play.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I felt the same way you did from beginning to end.
I literally looked at you like not even a quarter of the way through, and I said, if they don't get at least Oscar nominations, I'm going to boycott, because this is like the most intense, emotional, like well done, just like gut wrenching performance I've ever seen in my life. Both of them, like by far the best performances we've seen all year. It's November. Just give it to them. Don't even have a ceremony. Just give it to them, because they are just phenomenal. And after everything we've gone through in the past month, like with my aunt at the breast cancer walk and like all this stuff, my other aunt passing away, it's just like, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal film. And if you get a chance, because I know it's at the end of their theatrical run, because it seems to be going out. This was the only showing today. If you do get a chance to see We Live in Time and Film in theaters.
We live in time and film.
If you do get to see We Live in Time in theaters, definitely take that chance. But as soon as it's available for streaming, for purchase, for anything, I recommend it. I mean, definitely have a box of tissues handy. I wish I did. Thankfully, I went back to the snack stand and got some extras. But I used every single tissue that I got. But it's definitely one of those that, like, just he makes you think. Yeah, I can't. I thought I'd be able to, but it's too close to home. But I loved it, and I think that you should definitely, I mean,
it's a movie that does exactly what it needs to do. And, without shoving it in your face, it's a PSA for cancer awareness in general. And it's just like making sure you're taking care of yourself and doing the things you need to do. And like, these people are just living their lives. And I mean, she
was so healthy.
Yeah.
The worst part is, she was healthy.
Right. But she did what she needed to do, like, as with knowing the plot and but realistically, it's so hard to say. It's just a thing. Like, you can only do so much, unfortunately, for some people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, in the end, it's one of those movies that you have to just take it. And if you can handle this kind of stuff, because, some people, understandably so, can't. There was a moment where I was like, I don't know if I don't walk out on movies much unless they're bad. Really, really has to be really bad.
Yeah.
I've sat through some pretty bad movies just because.
Yeah.
But like, there was a moment where I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. But I did. And I mean, I'm glad I did. I you know where the movie's going, unfortunately, and it makes it even more tragic. But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be experienced.
My thing was, I kept thinking, I have to leave. But at the same time, the performance was so astounding. And yeah, the writing wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible either. But I'm saying, like, it was so real. I felt like I was in their lives. Yeah. It wasn't a film to me. Yeah. Like, it was, I'm living in this with them. I'm in this with them. Like, you're in the trenches of chemo and, like, all this crazy stuff going on with them. Like, that's how I was feeling. And there were a few moments too. I was definitely like, I really don't want to watch this right now, but I know I have to like go with her on the journey, go with him on the journey. It was tough to get through, but
Yeah.
if you can make it through, it's definitely worth the watch. And again, I'm saying it now. It's my prediction for at least actress
I hope
for the Oscars in 2025. It has to be.
Honestly, it is what it is, but like, yeah, I mean, they were phenomenal. Yeah. So anyway, there's not a lot to say here without giving away too much, but it's a movie you just need to experience to really feel the full scale of it.
Yeah.
But
it's okay to be in the privacy of your own home and using a whole box of tissues, because I probably would have if I was home. But there were some laugh out moments too, though.
Oh, for sure.
Because I felt like it was us.
Yeah.
Because it was just so like the
my
jokes
goodness.
and like.
But there was one scene that like the way he was like saying sorry to her.
Yeah.
Is like just, I was like, see? I don't know how to say I'm sorry, and neither does Tobias
or Andrew Garfield. Yeah, no.
It was I laughed pretty hard about that one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. And then they had these little cute little like moments where it's like, this isn't a joking matter, but they're both joking about it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it
felt so lighthearted at certain points. It was nice, because that's what we do. You'll joke, you'll try and make me laugh, or you'll try to make me smile, and it's like, this is a crappy situation, but like, let's laugh about it. Yeah.
Right.
Like, that is relationship gold.
Yeah.
And that's where the writing actually for me was great. I mean, I don't know.
It was more so, I wasn't saying that the writing was bad. I was just saying
I'm not saying you
like,
did. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just saying that like it didn't matter as much as who they casted in these roles.
Yeah.
You know,
the portrayal of it.
Yeah, because like I said, it almost could have been anything, and as long as the structure was there.
Yeah.
You know, like the dialogue almost could have been, you know, hey, we want you to improv this scene.
Yeah.
And who knows what they did and didn't. Probably not, but, you know, that's how I felt. It felt so real is what I guess. And maybe that does make it a really well-written script.
Yeah. Because
it was so good that it didn't feel like it was even written. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Well, definitely see the film We Live in Time. Take one of these with you, or have one of these next to you. But
tissues for those of you listening.
Oh yeah, I'm flashing around a tissue box because I've got
it.
Swinging. I don't know what else to say without it being phallic.
A phallic tissue box. Haven't heard that one before.
Floppy. I don't know.
What?
Speaking of weird jokes. Yeah, but get yourself checked, people, because I mean, I don't know. Just get checked. Doesn't matter if it's early or late, but just get checked. Doesn't hurt to know. I don't know how to end this.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Here are the Hahns signing out. Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music. You could even subscribe to our YouTube channel where you could see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Let's chat soon.